Riley Chow from Gold Derby here with Anthony Mackie to talk about the new Amazon sci-fi anthology series, Solos. So in your episode, you actually play both Tom and Edward, and Edward is particularly interested in studying Tom's mannerisms, his physicality. So I'm wondering, to put yourself in your character's shoes, how much did you study yourself?
Not at all. I was very lucky. I recently did a documentary about one of my movement teacher in college named Moni Yakim, and he really enforced in us and gave us this the tutelage to be able to create your character from within. And if you're playing a AI or if you're playing a newly formed human being, you have to register. You have to start from a neutral palette. And then every brushstroke adds colors and layers on top of that. So what I tried to do with Edward was at the beginning of the episode have him be a neutral canvas, and then by the end he's really picked up Tom's mannerisms and approach to movement and his speech cadence and the way he kind of acclimated to the world around him.
How do you set the characters apart at the start of the episode?
Well, Tom is itself. Tom is a fully evolved, recognized human being, and Edward is basically there to learn. He has to take all this information in a short period of time. He has to calm Tom down and get him to give him the information that he needs. So, when it comes to acting, you have to play your objectives. Edward's objective was to get the information from Tom and make sure that he's prepared to meet Tom's family. Tom's objective was to try and teach Edward the best possible version of Tom.
And when you get the script for a project like this, how do you break it down? Where do you begin?
Well, I'm a firm believer in it's not so much what you say about yourself, but what people say about you. So when I read a script, I highlight my lines in yellow, I highlight the writer's notes in pink, and I highlight everything that's said about my character in blue. So, the I can say I'm going to walk to the store. And then the writer says he walks with a brisk pace to the door. And then the other person in the room says, "Why are you walking weird? Why are you limping?" So now I know I'm limping, I'm walking fast, and I'm running to the door. So it's really important, to get those three aspects of reality when you're creating a character because it informs every part of your performance.
Your episode was actually directed by the same man who wrote it, David Weil, your showrunner. What do you learn from working with a director who's actually written the script as well?
It's one and the same. I feel like David is such a naturally gifted writer that his honest approach to direction has 100% comes from the words on the page. So he has a perspective, he has an idea, he has a direction that he wants to take the performance in, but it's all geared in the words on the page.
And do you know why he wanted you for this part?
I don't know. I don't know. I never talked about it. I when I got the call, I read it and I was, you know, dumbfounded by the level of humanity that he had wrote into this character. I was really blown away by the honesty of this human being that was on the page. But I have no. I wanted to do it. I don't know if he just got stuck with me, but
In the episode, your characters meet, and that kind of meeting is called a reunion, which they remark upon. Why do you think it's called a reunion?
Um, because it's two people coming together again, to reunite. I feel like when you look at, you know, I guess the company, since it's a different aspect of yourself, it's still yourself. So they're just bringing you back together again so that you can learn moving forward what it is you need to learn. So, it's just that idea of coming back around together again.
When you're playing two characters, do you learn the whole script, or are you learning, each character separately and shooting them separately, or what was the process there?
Great question. This was impossible because it was 30 pages of two dudes talking, and I mean monologues. So, what I did was I really focused on the emotional through line, and I tried to learn the entire script just like it was a monologue. And then I went through and broke it up. Edward had fewer lines, so I would record Edward lines on my phone, and then I would say Tom's lines and then play Edward lines, and go back and forth like that. And then I recorded myself as Tom and did the exact same thing as Edward while listening to Tom. So it gave me that idea, that ping pong, the idea of, what exactly is the emotional attachment to this line and what am I trying to convey with this line? So that's kind of what was the process of learning the lines, but it was a hell of a beast.
Yeah, this is a very different exercise than other films or television shows. What do you think you learned about yourself as an actor?
I still got it. I when I read this script, I'm 21 years in. I was I got nervous by the idea of becoming complacent with the business. It's like, hey, you're an Avenger. You can show up, say your lines, and go to Jamaica for a week. You get to a point to where the work isn't as fun or it isn't as important as the press and the recognition or Instagram. And I've been trying to get back to the point of being aware of who Anthony Mackie was when he first got into business. That importance of developing a resume and still building a career. So when I read this, it intimidated the shit out of me. I was nervous about this role, and I took it because of the overwhelming opportunity to fail.
Yeah, well, great work. Thanks very much, Anthony, for chatting.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Be safe.